We are talking free agency. Free agency is really close to being near. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 20 free agent big board for our Detroit Lions. But before we get into today's video, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Take your mouse, click it, or if you got a tablet, use your finger trying to ascend the Chat Sports ladder. And right now, Miami Dolphins and Philadelphia Eagles channels are ahead of mine. I can beat them, but with your help, that's the only way it's going to happen. Without further ado, let's get in this thing going. Like I said here, it's going to be the top 20 free agent big board. Various reasons why I selected these players. First off, it's not just all the top players because that's not how free agent works, especially with Brad Holmes. Players for, their age, for scheme fit, selections of players coming back that was on the Detroit Lions. So multiple reasons why, and of course, need. That's important. We have many needs, primarily on the defensive side of the football, so you're going to see a lot of defensive players in this bad boy, even though there is some offensive players. And obviously, the Detroit Lions own free agents because we're going to be bringing them back. So number 20 for me here is John Cominsky, the defensive lineman for the Detroit Lions. I do think he's going to come back. In all honesty, the sign meter here I got at 4. He is a great rotational player for the Detroit Lions defensive line. You got Joshua Pascal, him, Isaiah Buggs, who's a free agent as well. Just you can play on the inside, you can play on the outside. He's just a good player. He wants to be here, and it's not going to cost a whole lot. So I think he should come back. I think he will come back, and he'd be a good player on the rotation. Let me know in the comments section right now. Do you want the Detroit Lions to bring back John Cominsky? Why for yes and N for no? Place it in the comments below. Let's continue on here. I think for the Detroit Lions to pick up defensive tackle Jerry Tillery there. I think he would be a good player for the Detroit Lions. On the Raiders, he would cost not much at all. He would be a veteran minimum. When the Raiders got him last year, I thought he'd be a good player for a rotation for the defensive tackle position. For the Lions, I wouldn't mind him coming here. It would be cheap. Number 18 here, I got Isaiah Buggs for the Detroit Lions. He did really good for Detroit last year as a rotational. Look, I'm not talking about a guy who's going to be the number 1 defensive tackle, but he wants to be here. It's going to be cheap. We need help with the rotation. Isaiah Buggs seems like a great guy to bring back. He did good with the snaps that he had. He did good for the rotation. So why the hell not? We need those players. We can get a stud defensive tackle in the draft. They can do that, but you need players that can come in and out to help out on the defensive line. So depth on the interior is really important for this football team going into year 3. Really important for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Player here, I think it would be less likely the Detroit Lions get him. That's Saquon Barkley, but you got to make a phone call and see what he wants. Can the Lions get a player of his talent? Per Spot Track right now, to get Saquon Barkley would be a 4-year deal, $49 million. Average salary of $12.3 million. His running back rank is 6. In all honesty, he's probably RB1. He's a damn good running back. The issue with Saquon Barkley is never his play on the field. Hell, the New York Giants should be called the New York Barkleys because I feel like he's the reason they went to the playoffs this year for a player on the roster. Obviously, help out when you got a great coach and all that, but we're talking about roster players. So if the Lions are trying to upgrade the running back position, as we know, Jamaal Williams is a free agent. We don't know the future of DeAndre Swift. Why not make a phone call? Is it going to happen? Probably not, but you got to do your due diligence for that. Number 16 here is Evan Brown. I don't know the likelihood of the Detroit Lions actually getting him on this roster. Why is that? Because he's going to cost a lot, I think. I think he's the best backup guard. He can play center, right, and left guard. I would love for the Lions to get him. It's all about contract here, and does he want to be a starter? But definitely got to try for the Detroit Lions. You just have to try. I don't know what else you want to do here. Question for you, should the Detroit Lions go ahead and sign Shy Tuttle? In the comment section, put S for sign and P for pass. Let me know in the comments below with what you think about him. Let's continue on here with number 15. How about Leighton Vander Esch? I talked about him prior on this channel for about a month. I think he'd be a great rotational linebacker. It's going to be cheap, one-year deal. The issue is not talent. He is very talented. It's, again, injuries. But we did that with DJ Chark. We've done that with other players, with Brad Holmes, taking risk on players who had injuries, but it's a one-year deal, something that wouldn't hurt you in the long haul. So why the hell not? Let's go ahead to go to the backup position here. How about Gardner Minshew as a potential backup quarterback to Jared Goff? Brad Holmes wants to have a good backup. He talked about it this offseason, and we're trying to make that playoff push. The last thing you want to see is Jared Goff go down and you have no option behind him as you're trying to make that run. I don't know if it's going to cost a whole lot. Obviously, he would cost something, but I feel like the love of him has fallen a little bit. How about going Mike Hughes here, getting him for the Detroit Lions? He was a good player for Detroit this past season. He's not going to cost a lot. He did do well playing time for minimum deal last year. I think it'd be a minimum thing going on again here. So I do like what Mike Hughes brings for a backup role. I have no problem with depth getting him at the cornerback position. Number 12 on my list is going Cooper Rush. I think he would be a perfect backup quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Getting him to back up Jared Goff would be ideal. He's not going to push Jared Goff to be a starter. But if Goff goes down, he can win you football games. He did it with the Dallas Cowboys. I think he would be perfect here in Detroit. It's going to cost a little bit much, though, to get him. Just depends how you want to do that. How about going Tuttle here from the New Orleans Saints? You'd be a great rotational defensive tackle. He's not too old. He is familiar with Aaron Glenn as well as Dan Campbell. Again, a rotational defensive tackle is what we want here. Shy Tuttle, it wouldn't be much. We're talking a 2-year deal, $12.7 million, an average salary of $6.3 million. He's ranked 29 as a defensive tackle and NFL ranked 315. Again, we're talking about a guy who's a rotation. You can get your stud DT in the NFL draft to help out the Detroit Lions. Let me know, what is a free agent you want the Lions to sign? Put and name one free agent you want the Detroit Lions to bring to Detroit. Any free agent. It could be a high-priced one or a low-depth player. Let's continue on to number 10 here. How about getting DJ Chark back? I think the Lions will try to do this. This is not about ability. I think everybody knows that he and Jared Goff got on the same page. It's about money. Will he want to come back on a cheaper deal, or will he like to go to the New Orleans Saints, to any other team out there like the Chicago Bears, who may be priced to get a free agent wide receiver and outpay the Lions? Number 9 here is Alex Anzalone. I think the Lions would like to bring him back, but there is other linebackers on the free agent market. If they strike out on those other guys, you can always bring back Alex Anzalone. It's not going to cost a whole lot. It'd be a little bit more because he did play well this year than the previous years with Alex Anzalone, but he wouldn't be a bad option if you strike out on some other guys and then you draft a linebacker high in the draft. Brock Wright, number 8. I think the Lions should bring him back. It's not going to cost a lot. We don't have a need at the tight end position, regardless of what a lot of the media tells you right there. Brock Wright coming back makes a lot of sense to me. We don't need to go nutso at that position. We truly don't need to do that, in my opinion. that's what I would got going on here. Let's go ahead and jump, or I accidentally missed out on one of these slides here, but we'll do number 7, Lavonte David, the linebacker from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think if the Lions are going to go veteran route, he would be ideal. I love Lavonte David, and I think he'd be fantastic as a leader here in Detroit. Bobby Wagner at number 6. If he would come here, he would be awesome. I know he's older, in his early 30s here, but he's still a very valued linebacker. He's one of the best still linebackers in the NFL. He proved it last year. It's going to cost, though, the Lions a little bit of money. We're talking probably a 1-year, $10 million deal, and that is Spot Track. He's ranked 8 in the NFL last year, and he did a phenomenal job. You bring him to the Lions linebacker position, he helps out these young guys. My God, the LBs would be much better. And then you draft a linebacker early on. I would love that. Number 5 here, Deshone Elliott. I would love to bring him back. It wouldn't cost a whole lot. He did good for the Detroit Lions at the safety position. He's got that dog in him, and he's got a lot of confidence. I love what he brings. Why not try to bring him back? We already got Tracy Walker, and we got Kirby Joseph. Bring Deshone Elliott back. Jamaal Williams at number 4. We love Jamaal Williams. We have not signed him yet as this video is being made. Maybe it happens later on. But he is a dog for this football team. He's a vocal leader. He's a leader all around. He's never injured. He's always getting those crucial yards. It's not going to cost a whole lot to bring him back. I would love to bring Jamaal Williams back. Tremaine Edmunds, he could be an option for the Detroit Lions at the linebacker position. Had a hell of a year for the Buffalo Bills. He's young. He's going to cost the Lions a pretty penny. But if you're looking to upgrade the linebacker position for the longer haul, he would definitely be just that. And you can turn around and draft a linebacker in the draft, and your linebacker position is much improved. Folks, if you want to make a little bit of money, go to chessboards.com/LionsBet. That is bet. US, put in the promo code LIONS125. You'll get a 125% deposit bonus. You got XFL games, you got the NBA, and you obviously got hockey as well. So go ahead and bet on games. It's better than a lottery ticket. Number 2 here is James Bradberry from the Philadelphia Eagles. He is one of the best, if not the best, cornerbacks on the free agent market. He's a little bit older at 29. That's why I got him number 2. But the Lions have a major hole at the cornerback position. See what it would take to bring him in. But my number 1 player on this list is Jamel Dean. I think he's exactly perfect what the Lions need. He's young at 26. He's a damn good cornerback. He would fit well in this scheme. He would fit well with Dan Campbell. He's a long solution. It's going to cost you a little bit of money to get him, though. 3 years, $49 million, an average of 16.5, cornerback rank of 9. But if you're, we're in the conversation potentially trading for Jalen Ramsey. Well, you can get a player of his caliber who's much younger and probably a little bit less on the deal. Why not do that? Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this list? Who did I miss on for potentially on this list who you would like? Also, just go ahead and throw that in the comments section. Make sure you hit that notification bell, as the latest Lions news and rumors will be occurring here pretty much every single day. With that said, folks, adios.